Bridget, before we go, question for you.
Okay.
Your feelings towards the guy who fell asleep. Can you just touch on that a little bit and tell us how you were able to cope and get through or work yourself through
the justification process?
Yes.
Yeah. And, that's a very interesting question because when it first happened, again, you're going through the stages of grief. And I'm going to be very, very honest. I hated him. I hated him for what he did to my family. I hated him for how he changed so many people's lives in a split second. I like I said, you could probably imagine, but again, there were some things that I said in my therapy sessions that, like I said, only me, her, and God would ever know, because I had some words for him. I hated him. I was like, why did my husband have to die? Why didn't he die? It's not fair. I hope he suffers. I mean, I went through the whole gamut to the point where I was so filled with bile and venom that it was eating me up inside. And I had to eventually I had to figure out how to find peace in all of this. And it was not forgiveness, but I knew that if I die tomorrow with this hate and with this venom in me, I can't get into heaven like that. I can't keep holding on to this as much as I wanted to. And I was just ready for the day where the police came and told me that, and Jesus forgive me, but in the moment, this is how I felt, that he was so overcome with grief that he killed himself. And now I feel vindicated. And I had to ask God, please take this from me. Please don't let me walk around. It's heavy. It's heavy. And I don't want this. I don't want to live the rest of my life in this headspace. And so, we don't have a whole lot of time to go through all that, but through a series of events, and like you said, it was 2019, and then COVID hit, and everything that was not essential shut down. So, court appearances and stuff got pushed. And like I said, through a series of events, this young man disappeared. And we could not find him. And then that added the insult to injury of, you killed my husband and now you're going to jump ship? You're not even going to be man enough to own up to what you did and face me? How dare you? And again, it was that process of working through, and eventually I got to the point where I was healed enough where I could say, I have to make peace with this. And I have to accept the fact that they may never find this guy. And I may never get the justice that I feel like I deserve. But God is going to handle this in one shape, form, or another. God is going to handle this. And I need to step back from this because I can't keep walking around with this on my chest. I got to let it go. And Tori was killed in 2019. It was literally October of this year that they finally found him, and he was finally brought to justice. 5 years later, that it finally was dealt with, that they found him. And when they found him, I think they said he was in West Virginia, and I think he got of all the things, I think he got picked up in a traffic stop. There was a nationwide warrant for his arrest. And when they ran his name, they saw there was a warrant, and they arrested him on the spot and extradited him back to North Carolina. And full circle moment, and I had told you this, Kelly, the accident itself happened right in front of Walmart on 70. I was sitting in the parking lot at Walmart when I got the phone call that he had been caught. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like, how ironic is that I'm sitting in the parking lot on the very same road that his life was taken. And now finally, I am going to get the justice for him. And, life moved on. Things have progressed in my life and stuff. But that was the one thing that was unfinished, that I was like, I'm never going to stop trying to get justice for him. Yes, I have moved on. Yes, I have been able to forgive the young man to a certain extent, but it was still that little piece of unfinished business. And to have that closure was everything. And to be able to say, it's done, it's finished, and now I can completely move on with my life and know that I did everything I could to honor this man's memory and to get the justice for him that he deserved. So, have I completely forgiven the young man? No, but I'm probably about 99% there. I was given the opportunity during the hearing to give a victim impact statement. And he didn't speak to me, but I was able to speak directly to him and just tell him how he just changed so many people's lives. And, one of the things that I not only grieved for myself as, oh my gosh, I lost my husband, but I grieved for my daughter because she lost a father that she does not remember because she was so young when it happened. And, I told that to this young man. I said, you have gotten married, you have gone and had children. I said, and I know it's been hard for you to be separated from your family. I said, but at some point, you're going to get released and you're going to go back to your family. Your life is going to move on. I only have a graveyard to visit. You will plan the birthday parties. You will do the donuts with dad. You will take the family trips and make memories. And I said, every time you do those things with your children, I need you to understand and remember and recognize that there's a little girl in North Carolina that will never have those experiences with her father because of you. And the fact that you were not man enough to own up to what you did, you're not here because your conscience finally got the better of you. You're here because you got caught. And for that, that's the little part that I'm still working on, that forgiveness. Because I was like, had you not slipped up and got pulled over, you would have still been living your life. Now, I don't know what kind of life you would have been living, but the fact that you were still living your life and going on about your daily business. So it also gave me that relief to be able to express that and get it off my chest. So when I walked out of that courtroom that day, I was truly done with it. It's done. It's over. What justice I could get has been served. It's okay. It's okay to move on with your life. And that's what I've done.